Hey, my name is David from 52 Churches in 52 Weeks. During my travels, I bump into some peculiar things that don't quite fit in with my church videos, but still think they're worth noting to make a quick video about. So I like to call these side quests. So if you're ever in Michigan, 30 miles outside of Mackinac Island is a 55-foot tall crucifix called the Cross in the Woods. Well, this national shrine is also home to the world's largest collection of Catholic nun dolls. So when I visited, I had to check what this was all about. So when I made a turn, I saw the entranceway, and from the outside it didn't look like much, maybe about a dozen nun dolls. But as soon as I walked in and I turned around, they got bigger. So they had 3 Cabbage Patch sized Catholic nun dolls looking at you, and on the other side there was another 3. I took a turn, and then there were more, and then next thing I took a second turn, and next thing I knew, this entire room featured all these glass displays of hundreds and hundreds of Catholic nuns, Catholic clergy, and the biggest thing was they had full-size mannequins of clergy also just staring at you with the hair and the eyebrows. And they had these displays as well that had been constructed where the dolls would be performing different type of Catholic sacraments like the Eucharist. And I took one last turn and there was this hallway, and the hallway had all these different years and religious orders of Catholic nuns throughout, like just the entire hallway just full of them. I want to say there had to be at least a dozen of these. And my initial reaction was I was a little bit shocked, and I think it's due to kind of our current day and age with movies and media, especially with Toy Story. You know, the toys come alive, and then you also have, like, I'm not into horror movies or anything like that, but Chucky. And it kind of got me thinking too, like if you ever want to do an exorcism on Chucky, you bring him here. But that's another story. With my initial reaction, I kind of got thinking about it, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Like, there had to be a lot of dedication, a lot of passion, a lot of backstory in terms of how this even happened. So I did some research on their website and learned that at the close of World War II in 1945, a young girl called Sally Rogalski started collecting her dolls. And she wanted to do something to honor the Catholic tradition and wanted to dress them modestly in traditional Catholic nun attire. Well, she started doing this, and several years later she met her husband Wally, and Wally joined in by constructing all these displays for this collection. So they did this for about 20 years, and the collection got so big that they donated about 200 of these dolls to the National Shrine of the Cross in the Woods, just on the condition that no one ever pay anything to go see this. Well, this is where it kind of gets a little bit interesting, because what Sally did from there is she really used this almost kind of like a ministry to reach out to other type of Catholic religious orders. So she would interview and she would talk with them so that she could get authentic garb to dress more dolls. And over time, this museum now has been able to increase the collection to over 525 dolls and 20 life-size mannequins, chronicling all the different types of attire that different Catholic religious orders have worn over the years. It got so big that at one point, I guess the Pope back in 1988 even blessed the Rogalskis for the work that they were doing when it came to their doll collecting. So it just got me thinking, you know, when it comes to preaching, like, you can almost do anything when it comes to ministry. And in this case, dolls.